Maybe that'll help. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Well, that's all right. We're getting there. We're working on the problem right now. And hello, Mr. Problem. I know you'll show yourself whenever the host or the hostess will grant permission.
So we are already live on YouTube. You just have to switch on the camera and turn the camera.
I see. There's usually, or often, there he is. There's a setting for the
Yes.
camera, and I appear to be standing in the right direction. Am I?
No, you're
No, but I'm trying. There is now. How's
yeah,
that?
now it's
Wow.
perfect.
Now I have to turn me around. Let's see if there's a turn around button.
Yeah.
Whoa! And Srima lost her head? Well, let's come back into the head zone. There she is, Ma. Could you wave a little bit?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, you can see and you can hear.
Yes.
Well, let's see what happens when Swami sits there. If the whole thing breaks, you'll know it wasn't meant to happen.
Okay. The camera turns.
The camera did what?
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine, Swamiji. It's
Did you
fine,
say
Swamiji.
something to me?
No, Swamiji.
Okay, then I will continue. Ah, can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Can you see me?
Yes,
Well, I bow to my guru.
I bow to my guru.
I bow to my guru's guru. I bow to the guru's guru. Ah, and now I am seated. Am I in the correct
Yes.
position?
Yes, Swamiji.
Om Song Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Namaste. We are reading from the book Srima, Living with the Soul, and we're on page 37, and we're going to read about Srima in college. She was really quite an attractive student. I can understand why people in her class didn't get a lot done. Laughing, I think that Ramakrishna arranged for that exam to be postponed. When I studied for the exam the next time, I had a feeling what the questions were going to be. When I took the final exam, I didn't know what was happening. My pen was just writing automatically. I passed my examinations and graduated from college. It's very beautiful. It was Ramakrishna who tied me to my family. I was doing so much for them. A big snake and my first samadhi. Once, when I was 13 years old, I was staying with my second uncle during a vacation, and he had a big wooden Kali. A Kali, the goddess who takes away darkness, is another form of Chandi, in his house. One day, my uncle and aunt went to the dentist, and I was alone in the house. I was so happy because I could talk to Kali, laughing, so happy. I was folding clothes and I said to her, "Nobody is home. Could you please come down and give me darshan?" I started crying loudly, saying, "Please come down and give me darshan. Nobody is home. You wouldn't believe it, but at that moment, I saw a big snake behind me at the window. I ran into the other room and closed the door and put towels in every hole. I was afraid the snake would come and bite me. It was an unbelievable snake. From that door to here, long over 15 feet, and really fat and black with a hood this big, 3 feet wide. I forgot that I talked to Kali and I was shaking and wondering what to do. After a couple of hours, I went out of the room to see if he was still there, but he was gone. Then I called some people who were walking on the road and said, "Come, you have to see, there's a big snake." But they couldn't find anything. Then I got a fever, and it felt like the snake was walking on my body. Ever since that day, I always know if there's a snake around. I can feel it. Sometimes I can sense a snake is around and I get a fever and feel like the snake is crawling up my arms. Laughing, I completely forgot it all started when I was talking to Kali. When I was 16 and 17, I went beyond myself. I would automatically go into meditation. It's not like I would sit down and meditate. It would just happen to me. I was going into samadhi. I was becoming more and more subtle. The first time I went into samadhi, it was like watching TV. I saw many different events that happened in my life. During this samadhi, I saw that big snake, and Mother Kali said to me, "When you saw me, you got afraid." Then I realized that the snake was Kali. Kali also told me that she was the light that was always by my side. After that first samadhi, the light went away. Then I forgot everything. Everything I saw during that samadhi until later when I had devotees. Just like with Thakur Ramakrishna, there comes a time in your life to share these things with your children. I never thought it was important to share these stories before, and I never told anyone about them, but Thakur said it was time to share them. Even Swamiji didn't know many of these stories. And here's a picture of Sri Mai in meditation. The crunchy munchy saint. One winter day, a big storm came, and I felt something pulling me. I could feel that a saint had come. At that time, my mom was living in the same town, learning sewing, and she suddenly came and said, "Do you want to see a sadhu?" I had a habit of having a cup of chai at evening time with namkeen, an Indian crunchy munchy snack. I went to drink the chai and found out we didn't have any more namkeen. That's the moment my mom came to take me. So we went through the storm and rain to see the sadhu. We came to a house where many people were sitting and meditating in the living room. As soon as I entered, the sadhu opened his eyes and cried, "You came, you came. Sit down, sit down." He started to cry and said over and over, "You came, you came." I sat down in the back of the room near the door. Suddenly, a big bag landed in my lap with a thud. Laughing, it was namkeen. The sadhu knew. After the meditation and arati was over, it was 10 o'clock. There were hundreds of people there, so I passed out the namkeen, and then the sadhu said, "Come here and sit down. Sing, sing. I want to listen to your singing." He was very restless. I sang Jago, Tumi Jago, and he was crying. I was surprised. He was shouting while I was singing, "Wake up, wake up, Jago, Jago." I was really impressed. He told me that I have to do lots of work for this world, reminding me again in the same way my great uncle had. He invited me to come again, and I would skip school to see him. I would pretend to go to school, or I told the headmistress that my stomach was in pain. Laughing, I did that a lot to see saints. When I saw him, he was crying all the time. He said, "Lots of tests will come in your life." After that, I was completely different. I went a lot deeper, but I was not thinking about what I was doing. It was happening automatically. I was going into samadhi. Srima pauses and looks intently. I want you to think about your lives as you read this book and your reactions to what I am saying. I've been talking about my childhood and how I grew up. Now you think about your childhood. Also write down the experiences you have while you are interviewing me. When I talk about my life, then you think about yours. Then people will be more involved in the story. For instance, Augustia, an American devotee, told me he saw the Divine Mother when he was a child, but he forgot. You can dig into your own relationship with God. This is not only my story, I'm telling the story of all human beings. This is the first time I have ever told my whole story like this. I've told bits and pieces at times, but never the whole story in order. I feel Ramakrishna wants this story to be told now, and you will be the historian. And here's a picture, a drawing of Srima as part of the mountain, looking over the valleys and the people below. It was drawn by a very good dear friend, a sadhu friend of ours named Richard Odo. And Richard used to live in the forest. She is the one I've been looking for. With Sriman's encouragement, I asked a number of people who have known Srima for a long time to write their experiences. Here is Gabriella's story. I was raised Catholic by my deeply religious parents. We attended services and Mass every Sunday, went to confessions, and took communions. I loved Jesus and his message, but didn't feel any connection to the rituals of the church. Over time, I found myself interacting with God on my own without any formalities or intermediaries. My spiritual practice was extending to include meditation and yoga. Several years ago, I went on a trip to a yoga convention. After spending the whole day doing asanas and exercises, we were ready to leave for the evening. And then I heard songs coming from one of the halls. Cool, live music. Let's go check it out, I said. I walked into a hall where a small frame woman wearing distinct yellow clothes, I wonder who that could be, was sitting very unassumingly on a stage surrounded by band members. I did not know who she was or anyone else in the crowd, but in that one instant, everything changed and my new existence began, even though I did not fully realize the magnitude of the change at that time. When she sang, her voice was so sweet that all of us in the audience got up and danced. We couldn't help ourselves. The vibrations were too strong. Later on, a song list was passed around, and we all joined her in singing. Several of the songs were Sri Ma's own. One composition in particular, written by Sri Ma when she was a little girl, stayed with me long after the evening ended. I found myself singing it over and over again. Sri Ma spoke in Bengali and Swamiji translated in English. Although calling it a translation does not accurately reflect that evening's reality, each word out of his mouth was so alive and true that it totally captured our attention. Movement, time, and space literally lost all meaning. I had very little knowledge of Hinduism, let alone about Sri Ma and Swamiji, but everything they said was spoken directly for me, directly to me, for me. After the singing was over, everyone lined up to receive a blessing. I also got up and stood in line, still mesmerized. Suddenly, it was as though my chest exploded. I felt excruciating physical pain, which was followed by incredible bliss and serenity. Rivers of tears cascaded down my face, and I sobbed uncontrollably. I felt embarrassed, happy, and liberated all at the same time. I went back to Chicago, not knowing if I would ever see Sri Ma again. The evening seemed like a pleasant dream from which, unfortunately, I had to go back to my real life. Several months later, I received a brochure in the mail outlining Sri Ma's and Swamiji's tour dates for the coming summer. Nice, I thought, and filed it away. The next day, another copy of the same brochure came in the mail. Okay, I thought. The following day and the next, I got more copies of the same brochure. 6 in total. Sri Ma, very well, I will come and see you. I remember distinctly that their dates for Chicago was June 15th through 17th that year. I was scheduled to fly on an international route. I worked for an airline those exact days. I tried everything I could to get out of working at least on one of the 3 days, but nothing worked. I was totally frustrated and speaking to myself, well, Sri Ma, if you want me to come and see you, then please help me. The next day, my work schedule was changed, just like that. I still don't know how or by whom. On June 15th, I made my way to the place where Sri Ma and Swamiji were going to be. Unfamiliar with the neighborhood, and after getting lost and wandering for some time, I decided to ask someone for directions. I walked up to a lady and gentleman standing by a car. "Hi, do you know how to get to this street?" I asked. "Sure," she said. "Why don't I just take you there?" And she dropped me off at the door. Wow, it should happen more often. I can get used to door-to-door drop-off services. After the program, I realized that I had no idea how to get back to the train. A gentleman, Fred, as I learned his name later, was standing by the door, and I decided to ask him for directions. I am actually from Evanston, north of Chicago, but my wife, Deb, may know. Let me introduce you to her. Before I could say anything, Deb had a friend drive me all the way home. Now I was really getting used to door-to-door transportation services. Deb told me to be at her house very early the following morning if I wanted to see Sriman Swamiji again. Next morning, I walked into Deb and Fred's house and was startled with most unusual surroundings. No living room furniture, a makeshift altar, and all kinds of people chanting, waving lights, waving incense, and ringing bells. This is most certainly not what I would have thought of a church, but I immediately liked the concept of being the driver in this relationship with God instead of taking a cab. Sri Ma said that her mission is to make every heart and every home a temple and everyone a priest. I was taught a beginner Shiva Puja. It was so simple and so powerful, and that is the essence of Shrima. You are the priest. You invite the divine to sit on your altar and receive your offerings. I have spent time with Shrima on numerous occasions, and the message is always the same. In simplicity and efficiency lies enormous power. This is not the power over others or over things outside, but instead the ultimate power within. She teaches this and more in every word and every action. More, of course, includes pure love, or as he so beautifully says, pure devotion. Pure devotion is what pushes one to be simple and efficient, never wasting time or resources for the loved one. This attitude of efficiency, in turn, makes a person one-pointed, increasing the devotion exponentially. For example, she decides to sew a skirt. I bring the material out and she folds it this way and that, cuts a pattern, and almost instantly has a finished product. Had I blinked a second longer, I would have missed the whole thing. The same goes for her cooking. Vegetables are chopped and put in the pan, spices added, and the food is ready. It would have taken me longer just to begin thinking about what to make. She constantly reminds us the need for silently chanting the mantra to keep us focused and to always control the constant chatter in the mind. She is always cooking for the divine God within all of us. There is so much peace enveloping her. It's palpable. She inspires me to want to be just like her, and she tells me how, with every word and every action, with efficiency, simplicity, and pure devotion. I have a long way to go and have to overcome many obstacles before becoming her or even like her. I know for sure that the journey has begun. My awareness has increased exponentially. The fight to control I, the ego, has become more intense. It is the first step. And as a little child, I am faltering as I learn to walk towards her. I fall back to bad habits at times, but not without noticing it. I realize that the I is acting selfishly, and I make an immediate correction. My journey of transformation is a precious gift from her, bestowed upon me with pure love, without expecting anything in return. I know that Shrima really does not need anything, but my heart wants to give her everything. Everything I do everything for her. I struggle to decide what precious gift I can give Shrima, which is worthy of giving to her. After a long struggle, I just give her my heart and pure love. And here is a photo of Shrima in deep contemplation. We have time for one more in this session. The chapter's called Leaving Home. Love once said to me, I know a song. Would you like to hear it? And laughter came from every brick in the street and from every pore in the sky. After a night of prayer, he changed my life when he sang, Enjoy Me. Saint Teresa of Avila, 16th century Spanish saint. Evolved souls have often stated that it was very difficult for them to engage in mundane discussions or engage in domestic lives. Some even experience a painful sensation in their bodies when they have to engage in worldly affairs. These great souls long for solitude or to be with spiritually minded souls to share pure love. Saint Teresa of Avila called God as love, and Shrima calls him as pure love. In this interview, Shrima shares her experiences of meeting other great souls. It all started with her going into Samadhi after meeting the crunchy munchy saint, and eventually led her to leaving home. Thank you. And in our next session, we will continue with the stories about Srima. The next story is called One with Everything. Om Sam Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Pranam, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
Let's see if I
Swamiji.
can get that
Thank you, sir.
telephone here. Let everybody say hello to Srima.
प्रणाम स्वामी जी प्रणाम
Namaste, Kripananda.
Pranam, Swamiji.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Let's see. I
Thank
need
you.
to find. Well, there. Oh, there it is. It's coming. One moment, please. And there. And how does that turn around there? Oh, there she is.
प्रणाम माँ
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Jai Brahmananda.
Jai
जय
Ma.
माँ
Oh,
प्रणाम
here's a view of many of you. Hi, Krishna. Namaste.
Krishna's brother,
And Tushar.
Tushar.
Yes. And Kripananda and
Namaste,
there's
Ma.
Matthew. And so many friends. I see you in the background.
Who's
And
Matthew?
there we
प्रणाम
go.
माँ
Well, thank you
Pranam.
all.
Thank you,
Please
Swamiji.
take all of our love and our blessings. There was Gopi. Hi, Gopi. Namaste to you all.
Jai Ma.
We're going to
Jai-
make our tea, and we send you all our love and our blessings, and we will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai
Jai
Ma.
Ma.
Thank you.
Jai Ma.